Long before the world learned to fear the lion's roar, the savannah was ruled not by strength, but by unity. In those days, the grasslands stretched wide and green, rivers ran full even in the dry months, and animals lived by an ancient agreement. No one survived alone. Every hunt, every journey, every decision was shared, and at the center of it all was Lion. Not a king, not a leader, but the loudest voice. Even as a young lion, he was larger than the others, his mane already thick and dark, like storm clouds, gathering around his head. When he walked, dust rose. When he spoke, others fell silent, not out of respect, but out of caution. Lion believed the world owed him obedience. The animals hunted together in those days. Leopard planned the ambush, hyena tracked the scent. Wild dogs chased tirelessly, antelope flushed prey from hiding. And Lion waited. When the hunt succeeded, he strode in last, chest high, tail swinging. "This portion is mine," he would say, claiming the largest share. "This too, because I am strongest. And this, because without me, you would all be nothing." No one dared argue at first, but resentment grew like thorns in the heart. One evening, after Lion devoured more than half the kill, Hyena spoke carefully. "We all worked for this." Lion's eyes flashed. "You worked," he growled, "because I allow you to." That night, many animals went to sleep hungry. As seasons passed, Lion grew crueler. He mocked Antelope's thin legs. He snapped at Jackal for speaking too much. He cuffed Leopard for moving too quietly, accusing him of plotting. Finally, during the season, when the winds turned hot and water began to shrink, the animals gathered without Lion, deep in the thorn forest, where his roar could not reach. They spoke in whispers. "If this continues," said Leopard, "we will starve even in abundance." "He does not lead," said Hyena bitterly. "He consumes." A silence fell. Then small Jackal, trembling but determined, spoke. "What if we hunt without him?" Fear rippled through the circle. "Alone he is strong," Jackal continued, "but together we are wiser." After a long pause, Antelope nodded. "So be it." The next hunt was quiet. No roar signaled the start. No heavy pause followed the trail. The animals worked as one, fluid, precise, fair. When the hunt ended, they shared equally. For the first time in many moons, everyone ate. Lion, meanwhile, waited and waited. When no animals came to call him, he hunted alone. But strength, without strategy, failed him. His charges were loud, his movements heavy. The prey escaped again and again. The sun rose, the sun set. Hunger clawed at his belly. By the third day, Lion's roar had lost its thunder. Weak and desperate, Lion approached the animals' gathering place. They froze. Lion lowered his head, just slightly. "Let us hunt together," he said. Leopard met his eyes. "Will you share?" Lion hesitated. "Yes," he said at last. They hunted, but Lion broke his word. At the kill, he lunged forward, seizing more than his share. Without a word, the animals turned and left him standing alone beside the carcass. That night, Lion slept hungry again. Something broke inside him. Not his strength, but his certainty. The dry season deepened. Rivers shrank to muddy veins. Prey grew scarce. The nights grew cold. Lion hunted alone. He learned silence. He learned patience. He watched Leopard from afar, studying how stillness could be stronger than speed. He observed Hyena's endurance. He learned when to wait, when to strike, when to retreat. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months. Lion grew lean, scarred, and sharp-eyed. His roar returned, but it was deeper now, controlled, purposeful. One dawn, Lion approached the animals again. This time, he did not speak. He bowed his head fully. "I was strong," he said quietly, "but I was blind." The animals watched him carefully. "I hunted alone," Lion continued, "and I learned that power without restraint is weakness." Silence. Then Antelope stepped forward. "Will you lead or will you dominate?" Lion lifted his head. "I will protect," he said, "and I will listen." The animals tested him. They watched as Lion stood guard while others ate. They saw him break up disputes without violence. They noticed how he walked ahead of the young and behind the old. Slowly, trust returned. On the day the rains finally came, the animals gathered and placed the crown of leadership upon Lion, not with ceremony, but with acceptance. From that day on, Lion became king. But he never forgot the season of loneliness. And so, even now, Lion walks alone. Not because he has no allies, but because leadership is a burden, best carried with humility. Moral of the story: true strength is not in taking, but in restraint. Leadership is earned through wisdom, not fear.